no, not for you, not for you, not yet for you. Hello and welcome to another video with Tai the Test Queen. Today I'm making the video I've been dreading to make. This is the one video that was in the script from the beginning, but this is the one video that I didn't want to make, that I still don't want to make, but I'm making it. Today I'm going to talk about why you may not be ready for TOEFL or IELTS yet. These tests are very expensive. They cost a lot of money and they are the most widely recognized English proficiency tests, and they are required to study abroad or just for immigration purposes. However, just because you really want to take these tests and because you really need to take these tests doesn't mean you're going to be ready for these tests or you're going to be ready for the score that you need to get on these tests. So today I'm going to talk to you about why you may not be ready for TOEFL or IELTS yet. That's the key word, yet. If your English is limited, if you have limited English proficiency, then you're not going to be ready. You need to be ready because TOEFL and IELTS, they are English proficiency tests and they test your ability to use English proficiently, not well, not okay, not conversationally. No, they require you to use them almost fluently and proficiently. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard if you're not ready. I really want you to do the test and I want you to do it well. That's like my motto from the beginning. Do the tests once and do them well. So that's why I'm making this video, to not discourage you from taking the test. Please take them, but please make sure you're ready for the test. I know some of us can afford to do 3, 4, 5 tests and get the best score. Some of us can't afford that. Most of us can't afford that. These tests are expensive and they've gone up in price recently. At least I know TOEFL has. If you pay a couple of $100 US, you expect good results, right? But these tests, they're not made to give you what you want. They're made to test you to see if you've got what it takes. So the first thing, English proficiency. Are you proficient in English? When I do mock tests with students and they come to me and they're like, oh, I'm going to do my test next Saturday, I want a 6.5. I'm like, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? They're like, what is a statement? No, not for you, not for you, not yet for you. You also need to understand basic grammar and vocabulary. If you don't have a good vocabulary, then it's going to be hard, because TOEFL and IELTS, they use a lot of synonyms, they use a lot of words that you need to know, and if your vocabulary is not ready yet, you're going to have difficulty. Also, grammar, if you're not familiar with basic grammar structures, if you're not familiar with the tenses, past, present, future, simple, perfect, continuous, progressive, you are going to have a hard time because you need to use these sentences interchangeably and different sentence structures. So please make sure that you work on your grammar and vocabulary. So if you're not ready yet, how can you get ready for proficiency? Do more grammar exercises, practice, grammar, learn more words. I've been saying this since the beginning. Learn new words, learn synonyms, learn how to use words, choose one word a day and practice that word. Practice, and you will get there. You will get there. Just, it's gonna take time. Don't rush this process. The second point that I want to make, why you may not be ready for TOEFL and IELTS, is you're not familiar with them. If you're going to do TOEFL or IELTS, make sure you choose one, you stick to it, and you familiarize yourself with the format, the test format, so you can see how you take notes, how you listen, how you read, how you write, the possible questions you can get, the possible answers you have to give, possible grammar structures you can work into possible answers for writing and speaking, spelling for IELTS, taking notes for TOEFL, taking notes for IELTS as well. Develop certain strategies. If you have to do TOEFL in a month, you're not going to have time to develop strategies unless you go to a cram school, and you go to a cram school 5 days a week and you go 3 hours a day for all these lessons. But who's got time for that? Who's got money for that? It's very good to go to a cram school. So if you have a TOEFL or an IELTS test coming up, go to a cram school. Find a teacher online. If you don't want to go to a cram school, find someone who can teach you the basics of the test, the format, and work through that with you. That's very valuable. And there are a lot of websites. There are tons of cram schools where you can study this. There are also groups on Facebook and groups online where you can practice with other people who are going to take the test. I've joined these groups and I see a lot of test takers or future test takers who prepare and who plan and who help each other out. And that's a very good community to join. So if you're not ready yet, find someone who is preparing as well and use them as a study partner. that use them that sound so wrong, they will use you too. So use each other as study partners. Another thing that I want to add here is do not switch after doing the test once. I've seen this so many times where people go and do TOEFL and then like they get a really bad score, so they switch to IELTS, or vice versa. People do IELTS and they switch to TOEFL. Once you've done the test, you're already familiar with the format and how it works. So I would suggest you stick to that test and you try again. Just prepare better. Problem is not with the test, the problem is with your English, and that sounds very hard to say, very difficult to hear. So you need to stick to the test. Especially, for example, TOEFL listening, TOEFL speaking. If you're familiar with the format, if you're familiar with the kind of questions, then it's easier to practice those questions. Well, you're going to switch to IELTS, you're going to have to learn a whole new set of format, and then you're going to do the test, you're going to realize it's not the score I want, then you're going to have to do it again. And I've also seen people switch from TOEFL to IELTS and then back to TOEFL, or IELTS to TOEFL and then back to IELTS. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. So I would say choose one, choose the one you need for your university or college or immigration, and stick to that test. Do not change midway. It's a journey, right? It's a journey. We're on a journey here. You're on the English language journey and you are learning, and you are here with Tongue Tied to Test Screen. Another way you can prepare is watch my videos. And while you're here, please like and subscribe. It's free. Part 3, subscribe. Let's go to part 3. Part 3 is test anxiety. So if you feel nervous before a test, I've talked about this in a previous video about not having coffee before a test, and that's a valuable tip for once you're ready. But if you're not ready yet, if you get nervous, if you cannot function well under pressure, don't put yourself under this pressure yet. So the key word of today is obviously yet. I've used this so much and it's very, very important to know. I'm not saying you're never going to be ready for TOEFL and IELTS. I'm saying that you're not ready for TOEFL and IELTS yet. So please work hard, prepare. Find ways to relax yourself, find ways to calm down, find ways to be ready. They're all related. Once you know the test format, once your grammar is better, once your vocabulary is better, you're going to be more relaxed. If you know in the back of your head that you're not ready, you're not going to be relaxed. You're going to make mistakes. Do not underestimate anxiety. Do not think, oh, I do well under pressure. Some of us do, some of us don't, but I'm not talking about pressure, I'm talking about crippling anxiety. So if your anxiety is too much, find ways to relax, find ways to calm down. And in another video, I will be talking about ways to get ready for TOEFL and IELTS so you don't have to worry, so you don't have to stress. But that's for another video. So let's focus on this one. Number 4 is academic English. Like I mentioned this briefly in the beginning, all your friends can be foreign and you can speak English daily. If you're not familiar with academic English, it's going to be hard. So you need to familiarize yourself with academic English. That is English that you would hear in a classroom. That is English that you would read in textbooks, university level textbooks, right? Or research institutes, research papers. These are the levels of academic English that you would need to understand, especially with TOEFL, the TOEFL listening, the TOEFL speaking. It's a lot of academic English, a lot of lectures, a lot of things that you have to understand. And while both TOEFL and IELTS, you don't need any background information in that particular subject, your English needs to be high enough to understand the academic context of where the professor, where the lecturer is coming from and where they're going and what they want you to understand and infer and make references about. So please make sure that you have a firm grasp. I can grasp, like these nails are grasping to my fingers. Make sure you have a firm grasp of academic English. It is crucial, it is vital, it is very important. And let's go to the last reason. There are 5 reasons today. Reason number 5, unrealistic expectations. While TOEFL and IELTS are requirements for most universities overseas, and they will give you the scores that you need. You need a 5.5, you need a 6.5, you need a 91, a 90, a 95, 100 for certain universities in TOEFL. They will tell you the scores you need. It doesn't mean that if you get that score or even above that score that you're going to get in. So have realistic expectations. Make sure that the rest of your work is up to par with your English. So now that you've practiced English, now that you're ready, make sure you don't think, okay, I just need TOEFL, then I can get in. I just need IELTS, then I can get in. I need a 6.5, then I'm ready. No, you're not. You're not ready yet. You need other stuff to work on as well. You need extra material. You need extra things based on the requirements of what you want to study and where you want to study. So you have to make sure that you fulfill all the requirements. So that is why TOEFL and IELTS might not be ready for you yet, because you might need to prepare other things as well during this time. I cannot expect you, as an English teacher, I cannot expect you to pause everything in your life and just focus on studying English for TOEFL or IELTS. You can expect that of yourself. You need to focus on every area that you need to get in, to be where you want to be, and to study what you want to study. So do not make that mistake of thinking, I just need these and I'll be good to go. No, you don't. You need more. So these are 5 reasons why I think you might not be ready for IELTS yet. And these may not apply to you. 1 or 2 might apply to you. All 5 might apply to you. If they do apply to you, I would suggest give yourself more time. Try to postpone that test date and get ready. I've also seen test takers book the test date and then they book classes or tutors and they try to get ready before that test date. They kind of set a deadline for themselves. And I do not think that is a good thing. It might, if you work well under pressure and if you know you're almost there, like this is the level you need to go, if you're just under that, then it might be a good thing. But if you're nowhere near ready, if you don't fulfill in these 5 requirements that I've just mentioned, you're not going to get to that level in a short amount of time. I would suggest start learning aggressively. Learn as much as you can, do as much as you can possibly do for TOEFL and IELTS, and then book the test date. Once you feel, okay, I'm starting to get this, I think I know I'll be ready, then you book the test date. Then you pay that ginormous sum of money and you book the test and you go and you take the test and you get the score that you want and you fly over and you go to the university you want and you have the best life in the whole world. Make sure you get ready, make sure you prepare well, hard, and do not overestimate yourself. This sounds so harsh. Do not overestimate yourself. Do not think, oh, I'm capable of doing anything. I can do what I want. I'm so strong and my English is good enough. Oh, my friends understand me. No, no, no. Not ready yet. Not ready yet. You're not ready yet. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. Do not shoot the messenger. Subscribe to the messenger. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. We will talk more about English tips. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. I love seeing you all. And little heart, little friends. Mwah.